Welcome to Black Angus Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Venom appearing in the MCU. Apparently the director of Venom has made some comments referencing Venom and Spider-Man, Tom Holland from the MCU, crossing paths and in fact being in the MCU. So that's exciting. Before we get into that though, his comments, I do want to state my opinion on the Spider-Man of the MCU and Venom. I really like Spider-Man. I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I think that's probably the first superhero I really fell in love with as a live-action adaptation as a kid. And I really appreciate Jeff X, the Bullshitters, for rekindling that already established but kind of forgotten love of Spider-Man. And I hope to read some DeFalco, because I know there's a follower of mine that recommended reading DeFalco, Spider-Man. So I didn't forget you, friend, but I did forget your name at the moment. But the way they throw him in Civil War, it felt okay, but the more you get with Homecoming, I get he's a kid, but he seems overly naive with his goody two-shoe perspective of the world, given the perspective of Vulture and stuff, his, I would say, just to some degree motive. And I was totally not interested with Far From Home, especially with the race swapping of not one or two, but like essentially his whole retinue, if that's the right word, his supporting cast of high schoolers. They keep doing this kid spider, and it just feels like there's no real consequence. Especially him having been a part of the dusting, having fought Thanos directly, and of course witnessing being part with Captain Marvel and stuff. It just feels like Spider-Man's kind of going nowhere, or they're just throwing darts at a wall, like, hey, let's try this. I'm not a fan of it. I guess it's crowd pleaser though. Venom, on the other hand, I felt was a really bad film that had great acting, that had a great chemistry among the actors. Made me want to see more. Rewatching it, I've watched it with my son, who is 4 and he loves Venom and Spider-Man, so it adds to that. There's a dad factor with Venom, and I think they actually adapted a story pretty well outside of the general Marvel Spider-Man origin. So yeah, it's grown for me, and I can't wait to see what Tom Hardy can do more, and if they have the balls to go rated R. I actually don't have hope for that with MCU involvement, but maybe Joker or Deadpool can steer them to take some chances, especially with Scorsese hitting at them. But yeah, let's get into this. Let me scroll through here. Apparently Ruben Fleischer, I hope I'm saying that correctly, had this to say about a potential crossover. He says, that's where it's all going to lead. And that's the exciting thing, because we changed the origin of Venom. In the comics, he evolved from Spider-Man, but because of the Marvel-Sony thing, we weren't able to do that. And so the thing I think it's building towards, and will be exciting to see, is when they actually do confront each other. All right. He also says that his biggest regret, if anything, I would have changed the critics' reaction to it. I was really bummed that people didn't like it, because it's a crowd-pleasing movie, and I'm not sure if there was just blowback against Sony or people just worship Marvel. But I was really surprised that the critics were gunning for it, because audiences really enjoyed the movie, and so many people who've seen it just appreciated that it was a fun superhero movie. So I was a little surprised. I don't know what they were expecting. Excuse me. I really agree. Also, people don't realize this. I'm surprised no one covered this, but I remember seeing that there was a apparent review bombing of Venom from fans to combat with what's that movie? Lady Gaga. A Star Is Born. There we go. A Star Is Born was released around the same time, and so Gaga fans were review bombing it to aid Gaga in her box office. But, I don't know, I think it's kind of equal and opposite. You had star power versus established star with a loved character in a bad company. Bad, Spider-Man adapting company. So, I don't know. That was weird. But yeah, it was unfortunate. I think it got an unfair shake. It was just trying to be fun. I think they had a really good take with Eddie and Venom. Sorry for the coughing. The seasons are changing. And when asked about Serkis taking over the director role, he says, I was kind of happy to let someone else take over. I'm excited to see what he does with it. And the author of this specific article, which I'll link in the description, he also has a YouTube channel. He mentions that, it'd be cool what might come about with Venom, because Serkis is, of course, a renowned motion capture artist. He, of course, brought Gollum to life and Caesar from Planet of the Apes, and he was Snoke. Snoke was interesting, despite what they did with him. So I won't fault Serkis for that performance. He actually tricked me, and I thought it was Benedict Cumberbatch. So exciting stuff. Maybe Serkis will actually kind of Shyamalan himself into the movie. I would like that. Hopefully, it's a CGI character. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited? Excuse me again. Are you excited for Venom coming into the MCU, or the MCU coming to Venom, however you want to see it? I'm not excited. I actually, I've been saying Marvel needs Spider-Man more than Sony. After the success of Venom, it made almost as much as Homecoming, when Homecoming had Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, had Michael Keaton as the Vulture, a villain take right after doing The Founder. It just made $50 million more being in the MCU. So, Venom, the Venomverse, Sony, they can really do something on their own. They don't need Spider-Man. It's an aid for sure. And of course, they have the animated hit, critically acclaimed hit with an Oscar and a Golden Globe with Into the Spider-Verse. So I just think they got all the spider eggs in their basket. But, Marvel footing the bill won't hurt. So we'll see. And maybe we'll just get a little tighter with the writing. But with Phase 4, I'm at odds with everything going on with Disney and Marvel. I just don't have hope. The train's left as far as I'm concerned. I'd just rather Sony just do their own thing. But hopefully the best can come of it. Again, let me know your thoughts.